Hi everybody, it's Claire from Handmade Hudson's, and in my last crafty video I talked about what I did next after prepping my stamps and dies, and we were talking about this one. So this is the Words of Cheer stamp set from the July to December catalogue and the matching dies, which are the Christmas cheer dies. So I talked about the fact that I like to use the catalogue as inspiration and that I really liked this card here, but there are bits of it that I would change, and also I think it's probably a very easy card to case. So I cased this card, and this is what I created, which I think is super cute. So it's virtually the same, I've just changed up a little bit of the details. So I was going to show you how to make this card. Apart from this uses gold foil, and I'm going to use silver foil on my example. So I will show you what you need. So obviously you need the Stampin' Die set, and then I have got a card base. So I'm going to go this way. So it's your normal card size. All the sizes are linked in below. They're also available on my website handmadehudsons.co.uk. I won't give them to you because I use different card sizes to everybody else, purely because I am sometimes really stupid and can't remember the sizes. And when I'm tired, I give out the wrong sizes and cut the wrong sizes. So I have got a piece of basic white to go inside, which is half a centimetre smaller than my card base. And then I have got a piece of Pill Party for scraps, and then I've got another piece just in case that isn't big enough. I have got some silver to cut out the dots. I have got some vellum, which is currently the size of my piece of card, but I need to cut that down. I have got some scrap pieces of vellum to do die cuts with, so I'm going to put these over here because these are die cut pieces. I have got a piece of card which I'm going to die cut the cheer out of, and I've got a piece of soft suede. So this is some craft card that I have in my stock. I'm pretty sure that it's from Crafter's Companion, and it's got a dark on one side and a lighter on the other, but I'm going to use the dark side. If I was going to use this side, I would use crumb cake instead. I quite like this dark side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down this piece of vellum to match my die. Sorry, my die card, my die size. So there's my cheer. And I'm pretty sure, let's have a look. I've got stuff everywhere now. So my die is nearly 11.5. So I'm going to cut my piece of vellum at 13.5. So I'm going to cut this at 13.5. centimeters. So there's my vellum, and that can now go onto my card in a minute. So I've got my die out. I'm going to cut this piece of card down because it won't go through my mini cutter. So the mini cutter is about 8 centimeters, and this is too big, so let's just cut this off. And we're going to go for 7. Okay. So they're all ready to go through the die cutting machine in a minute. So I'm going to put those to one side for a minute, and I'm going to do the stamping first. So let's put this in here before I lose everything. And I need to put these on magnets. I just haven't done it yet. So that will be my job for later in the day. So I've got my pill party, I've got my inside piece, I have got my stamps already out. So I have got Wishing You a Joyful Christmas on a D block, and then I've got the little dots on the I think it's a G, yeah, so it's a G block. So this card will work with either the little dots or the little flowers, little leaves. So what I might do is actually do the little leaves, these ones here. So I'm just going to open this up, put these back on. Yeah, they are clean, it's just they're stained red, unfortunately. And that one's too small. So I've just got another D block, which is actually from a kit that I have been playing with. Right, so I am just going to bring in my pool party. Just going to stamp Wishing You a Joyful Christmas, that's fine. And then I am just going to stamp my holly leaves down here. And if they're not quite right, there we go. I don't like that. Right, let's turn it over. Let's try the holly leaves first. That's fine. That's better. So let's add this into here. So today I've just got some catalogue glue. I'm not sure where my Tombow has gone. It's somewhere in the building. So let's just add that there. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to stamp off this. So I'm going to stamp and then stamp off. So you're just going to randomly stamp your holly leaves around your card, and not do what I just did, which was actually add an ink blotch. So you are just adding interest to your background, and rather than actually stamping, I have managed to get ink all over my block, so I'm just going to take that off. I'm just going to do one more in the middle. So there we've got a bit of interest, and then if you want to add some more, you can do. So I might just add those there. So you've just got a bit of interest on your card, and there, that is the stamping done. So the rest of this is die cutting. So I have got my plates here for my mini die cutting machine. I'm just going to move this out of the way and this out of the way. So I've got my plates with my mini die cutting machine, which I call Dinky. And it fits just on camera, just on your surface. It packs up, goes away, fits in a trolley, etc. I think it's the really super cute die cutting machine. So I don't have the big one, I just have this little one, and then I've got an electronic die cutting machine. So if I'm cutting lots and lots of items, I will use my electronic one. Right, so I'm just going to run this through. And pop that out. And as you can see, it's popped out perfectly. So I am just going to add that to the top there. And then I'm going to do the rest of my die cutting. So I'm going to speed that up because I will just babble otherwise. So I'm just using my dinky machine to cut out all of the dies that I need, and I'm trying to be quick by putting more than one colour on at the same time. However, I managed to make wonky dots, so those dots actually cut out 21 at a time, and I am just cutting out silver flowers and the vellum flowers at the same time there because I want the silver dots from the centre. So I'm just running it through again with a piece of scrap paper over the top. So I finished all the die cutting now, and I'm going to put all the die cuts together. So I have got a tape pen from Crafter's Companion, which is the dotty one, which I use on a lot of my die cuts because I find it easier than using the fine tip glue pen. And that is because sometimes I can be super messy, especially when I'm tired, and I find that the dots don't go everywhere. And I'm highly unlikely to stick my finger to the table when I'm using those. So I'm just using my silicone mat to add the tape to the back. And then I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen in a larger space on the back to add in on the chair. And I'm lining up my chair on my mat because I was trying to get it at 1 centimetre, had a moment and ended up at 0.5 centimetre. So I have actually ended up with fine tip glue all over my vellum. However, it just seems to be working a bit better now, and the good thing about glue is that you can move it around. So I've brought my mat back in, and I'm now playing with my vellum flowers. So these were originally made out of felt on the original example in the catalogue. However, I don't have the felt, so again I'm just using my dotty tape pen to add all of this together. So I'm just adding them on top of each other. Then I will add some more dotty glue onto the back, and then I will add the holly leaves to the back of the flowers, and then add more dotty glue to the back to add it then to my chair. And the silicone mat is perfect for this sort of thing because you don't end up sticking everything to everything. And I actually ended up with one of my hairs in the flowers, so I had to remove that before I added it to the chair because I didn't want that on my card. And then I am using the fine tip glue pen again to add the vellum to the card by hiding it behind the chair. And so again, I'm just lining up the vellum to add to my card and then holding that down to ensure that it doesn't really move. So then if you're going to use the dots from the die set, you will need a tape it tool and some sort of poker tool as well. So here I am just adding the fine tip glue to the berries, and then I'm using my poker tool and then a brush to pick up the dots and then push them down into the glue. And then sometimes I also use the top of the tool as well to make sure that they're stuck. And now sometimes that does go wrong, and I have to say that this is pretty faffy, but it does look good at the end. And I was debating whether to use the fine tip glue on the silicone mat, but that didn't work, so you're better off putting the fine tip glue actually onto the little bits and then doing it that way instead. So there you have it. I have created this card and it is really rather cute. Well, I think so. And then I've still got bits of die cuts here that I can use on future cards. So as I said, my original uses gold, this one uses silver foil. I just used some scraps from my cupboard, but you could use anything that you have, so it looks good with any sort of metallic sort of berries. So this is my original based off the catalogue, and this is one I've just made, and I think they look really rather cute. So I will have pictures of both of these on my blog, handmadehudsons.co.uk. I think the camera's doing weird things. and all the measurements for the items that I've used and the items that I've used below. So thank you very much for listening to the video. If you've got any questions, please let me know. My email is claire@handmade@hudsons.co.uk, or you can find me on the Tinterweb, handmade@hudsons.co.uk. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, and you'll be notified if you ring the bell whenever I next post. Thank you, bye.